Sup witches, this is Nine the Hermit, and today is day 10 of the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge 2020. Today we are going to talk about some decks that have long been lost in your collection that you want to reconnect with. So I have a bunch of decks, obviously, that I don't use. And I decided that this year, the 2020, is gonna be a year of self-care and it's gonna be a magical year for me. So basically, most of the decks that I'm gonna show are decks that are very gentle and cute and loving in a way, except some of them, but we'll see. So let's start with the one of the most gentle of them all, the Shadowscapes Tarot. What an amazing deck, and even the colors are so gentle, and they're my type of colors: the light green, the light blue, the light pink, the light purple. Just amazing. The art is amazing, but as usual, since it's a mass production deck, how good it would be to have this option where you have the option like the regular option and another option where you pay extra but you get a much better quality. I think I would pay extra just to have a better quality for the cards. It's not that bad, but it's the typical mass production quality. I don't remember where it comes from. Is it Levelin or Los Carabeo? I think it's Levelin. So, the Shadowscapes Tarot. The next one, also gentle and cute. The Crystal Vision Tarot. So, this one, I bought it, and I think I never used it for a reading, despite the fact that I was so excited when I got it. So the backs, and these ones I feel like I could edge them. Thank God nowadays the tarot artists, most of them, they do their tarot cards without borders. How great is that? Because these borders, they can be annoying in the reading. When you don't have borders, I feel I connect the story much better than when I have the borders between the cards. But this is just me, and you can agree or disagree. The next one, where am I gonna go? So, maybe not so gentle, Anna K. Tarot, but see the thing sometimes, did you ever have this type of story where you just saw the deck online a bunch of times and you're like, oh no, ew, like I'm never gonna use this, and after like 2 years you look at it and you're like, yes, I need this deck now, I'm dying for this deck? Well, this is my story with the Anna K. Tarot. At first I looked at it and I'm like, the faces are kind of weird, and just no. And then after like a couple of times I saw it on Instagram and I'm like, I like the yellow background, and then the faces, for me, I started to like them, and I'm like, this represents humanity and like the imperfections of humanity, and I started to like this deck much more. So look, for example, the Lovers card, you see, I think the woman has a unibrow, like quite pretty. No, she doesn't, just looks like it. So then I just like fell for this deck like crazy, and I started to love it. And I'm sure you guys have some stories like that where at first you're like, no, and then after a while you're like, oh wow, I need this deck. The next one, the Silver Witchcraft Tarot by Los Carabeo. So, shiny. Do you like shiny as well? Yes, everybody likes shiny, no? So, also Beautiful goddess type of themes. All the majors are kind of, they're almost standing on a, so for example, this is the hangman. See, they're all on this cube, most of them, for the majors. This makes it quite different. Trying to find another major. There you go, the Empress. The Empress just fell. She doesn't want to show up, so here. See, they're all standing on cubes, and it's beautiful. It's well done. It's cute, and it's goddess type of energy. So this is the Silver Witchcraft Tarot, and it has a guidebook by Barbara Moore, and she's so knowledgeable, and she has this book about different spreads, all the different tarot spreads, and this book is amazing. Her book about spreads. I actually never met her, but I hope I'm gonna meet her and make her sign all the books. So next one, Levelland Tarot. So here's the thing, I'm so indecisive about cutting the borders of this huge deck. And see, if you cut the borders, it's just gonna shrink and become kind of like that instead, like that. The thing is that I don't mind if I cut the titles. If it's like major, kings, queens, I can probably most certainly recognize the stuff on the picture. Like I see, okay, it's probably the Knight of Pentacles, he's holding a pentacle. But some of the cards, what fell? Page of Cups fell. Oh, that's great. Okay, some of the cards, they have some stuff written on top of it, and I have not read the guidebook. As most of the guidebooks that you have, usually you don't read it completely. Let's be honest, there's so many guidebooks that it's impossible to read them all. But this one, either I have to read the guidebook or to understand. Bala Lake, the Tower card. So there's no way I would understand that this is Bala Lake, okay? The art, super beautiful. I do want to cut the edges, like the borders, I want to cut them like crazy. I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out, but I could try because it's a mass production deck, so I could get a new copy if ever I screw this up. Let me know if somebody did cut it. How does that look? Is it better? Because it's huge, and it's even like, it's not that bad, but it is quite huge, you know? In this deck, why the hell did I shuffle? I wanted to talk about the High Priestess card. So in this deck, I actually really like some cards, and the art is amazing. Some of the cards that I like the most is the Lovers and Two of Cups. I just find the picture so cute. Here, found it. The Lovers card. I just love it. So, all right, now I told you that I want some positivity in 2020, so let's go to the other decks, and I decided that I want to connect with the fairy energy. So I have this deck, Le Tarot des Fées Victoriennes. So this is, I think in English it's Victorian Fairy Tarot, and unfortunately, I have the French version. I usually like to have the originals, not some translation. I don't like translations, especially when I understand the original language. Like, I understand French, but this is a translation, and some of the translation, like, it's still not the original. So I'm always afraid that it's gonna lose some meanings or some stuff like that. So it has a huge book coming with it. It's the Victorian Fairy Tarot, and I don't know in which one. So you have to they renamed the minors by summer, fall, the seasons, basically winter, etc. So the winter stuff, the winter are actually the swords. So you have to like read a little bit and guess a little bit, or else you're gonna have like a brain twist when you're like, what's winter? You might think that winter is pentacles. I don't know. When you think of the Five of Pentacles, you're like, this totally winter, but for here, winter is swords. Backs are not reversible, so that's a problem. If you want to use reversals, it's up to everybody, but sometimes I do feel like I want to use reversal. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to use reversal. I mean, at the Masters of Tarot conference at the Omega Institute, Bennabelle one actually said that she decides whatever she, like one day she might use reversals and one day she decides she's not gonna read with reversals. And I'm like, oh really? That's smart, maybe. And now I actually do the same thing. Some days I want to read with reversals, and some days I'm like, no, I'm gonna read without reversals. So I have some decks that are inverted, some decks that are upright. So see, it's kind of, it's fairies. And you know about fairies, they're magical. The next deck about fairies as well. I'm telling you, I'm going on this year where I want all my wishes to come true, and I want this to be a magical year. Le Tarot ésotérique du monde des fées. Okay, good luck to translate this in English. What's the original title? Come on, come on. Is there any... I'm gonna be able to find this. Oh, okay, the book is A Guide to the Mystic Fairy Tarot. So it's the Mystic Fairy Tarot in English. The book is huge, but it's written by Barbara Moore. Must be good. Must be good. The illustrations are quite good as well. The back is reversible. Yay. The fronts, the quality is quite good, but keep in mind I don't have the original version. This is some French version that I have, and obviously my titles are in French. The Emperor, the High Priest, the Hierophant, the priest they call him in French, the Lovers, the Chariot. So you see, ooh, what is this? 2? No, 9. This is 9 of Cups. Interesting. I was sure it was gonna be 2 of Cups or something. And this is what? 3 of Swords. There's one fairy that's sad. They're sitting together, they look sad. Okay, so I wanted to add something else about tarot decks that I wanted to reconnect with. I just stood up and then I went to see that I had another tarot deck that I forgot about just standing on one of my shelves, and it's the Telema Tarot, right, from Los Scarabeo. So there's a bunch of them coming out, not coming out, but there's already the Millennium Tarot, and oh my gosh, what's the other one? I have the picture in my head, and the Arcanum Tarot. So these are the backs, and I do like it. No borders, quite beautiful. Honestly, it's a nice one. It's a pretty nice deck. Page of Cups, Ace of Swords, King of Wands. You guys probably know it, so I just wanted to add this one.